Welcome to Kiss the Reviews. I'm Armando. That's Corey. And today we're doing 1985's The Breakfast Club.
This movie answers so many questions for me. Like, will you walk beside me? Or will you run away? I don't know. But this movie answers the questions. This is why you watch this movie. So long as you don't forget about me. Which, by the way, is literally one of the only things I remembered about this movie.
I remember a lot about this movie when I was I think I saw this for the first time when I was in high school. So it was, I was in high school. I had white people problems. So this spoke to me. So
Sure.
There we go.
Did you have your butt cheeks taped together, or were you taping butt cheeks together?
I think
we all know which guy I was, so we don't even need to go there. But
I wasn't doing either. I think I was more of the Ally Sheedy character in this.
You were in your goth phase, just wearing black mascara everywhere.
We'll get into some of my high school deets on this one. So before we get started, if you want to follow us on Twitter, you could follow me at Junior D's. You could follow Corey at Idle Poncho. And let's get into the cast and crew of The Breakfast Club 1985. This film stars Emilio Estevez as Andrew Clark, Ally Sheedy as Allison Reynolds, Molly Ringwald as Claire Standish, Judd Nelson as John Bender, Anthony Michael Hall as Brian Johnson, Paul Gleason as Richard Vernon, and John Kapelos as Carl.
Mess with the bull, you get the horns.
Listen, well, let's start with Dick, okay?
Look, that's what I've been trying to tell people for years, and nobody will do it.
Dick is such a great character in this movie and we talked about in Titanic, Ruth being one of the most unlikable characters in movie history.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's followed by Dick.
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
He is I've never met a teacher like this.
I'm sure that's exactly what you want these people to believe.
Although he was a douchebag, some of the lines are just funny.
Oh, dude, his character is great. I mean, as far as a bad guy is concerned in a movie,
yeah,
he's about as vanilla as you can get until he tries to beat up one of his students.
Yeah,
he's just a disillusioned, tired, fucking over it high school public school teacher in the fucking 80s. Yes. I can't even imagine.
Exactly.
Dude, there's reasons certain people shouldn't become teachers, and he demonstrates why I would be a horrible teacher.
Exactly. And that's why I never joined the teaching profession.
That's what I thought.
Let's get into the beginning of this movie. So this film follows 5 high school students from different backgrounds and cliques in school that have Saturday detention. I'll ask you this. I'll pose this question to everybody. Did your high school have Saturday detentions?
No, that's what I was going to say. Thank the fucking teachers union if you never had to go to school on Saturday. Because somewhere around 1986, they were like, fuck that. I ain't coming to school on a Saturday to watch delinquents. Are you kidding me?
We had detentions, but and this comes as no surprise. I've shared this before. I went to a Catholic high school, and we didn't have detentions, if you will.
You had detentions
with Father O'Leary in the back.
That's right.
In the
Why'd
back
you come
of
be Irish? Everybody knows you're Roman Catholic, bitch.
Yeah, okay. So fucking Father Tony took you in the back to the rectory.
We were preparing some young English boys.
We didn't have the classic detentions. They were called jugs. And jug, J-U-G, stood for Justice Under God.
The power of Christ compels you!
This explains so much about why you're so fucked up.
So that's what, and they were just after school. All it was after school detention. They didn't make you read from the Bible or anything. You just sat there and did your homework.
Sure.
It was directly following school. We never had Saturday detention. So this was a bit of a departure for me when I first saw it. And it still boggles my mind because I don't think any public school has weekend detentions.
No, and I'm going to take it a step further and say I was in detention quite often.
As was
never
I.
Never saw one of the jocks in there. Never. They don't get detention. Let's just quit that shit.
So we're also introduced to Principal Richard Vernon, Dick, who is a douchebag teacher / principal now that likes to take out his life's frustration on the children at his school. He gives them an assignment to write some bullshit essay about who they think they are, and we begin to get the Dick Vernon originals like,
Don't mess with the bull, young man. You'll get the horns.
The lines, and again, in his head, in parents' heads, in teachers that were trying to discipline their students, these lines were like supposed to, like, I don't know, cut to your soul. But most kids were just like, fucking bullshit, get out of my face with your shit.
Yeah, he played that role so perfectly, just being that, like, you're so fucking out of touch. You're not even really intimidating. You're like, nobody is looking up to you. You're an asshole.
They think I'm a big fucking joke.
The best way I can describe his character is if you've ever showed up to an event that doesn't require a leader, yet somebody steps up and just starts barking orders out, that's him.
Absolutely.
And he's coming into school taking out his frustrations because he goes to whatever, his paintball probably. And he's like, all right, guys, I need you to run flanking mission over on here on the right. You guys go 30 degrees, cut left. And everybody's like, get the fuck out of here. We ain't listening to you. What are you talking about? So then he gets pissed off and goes to school on Monday and just berates his students.
Exactly. So cut to 2021. He's the guy on Call of Duty that's telling everybody what to do.
Yeah, exactly.
Bender, then, he's the badass. He rigs the door of the library so it can't stay open. Bender here then gets 8 more detentions from Dick because he knows that he rigged the door, and also because of epic comebacks like,
eat my shorts. No, so.
And my personal favorite,
yes.
What, you want one more? You want one more?
Yes.
That's another one.
This scene, like, for Bender being like this badass, I don't know, fucking loner kinda, he has 0 comebacks.
Well, I think that's what you kind of find out about his character very early is he's not a badass.
Yes.
He's just doing what he sees at home and thinks it's cool, and he picks on everyone that's weaker.
Yes.
He only knows he can fuck with Andy, the jock, right?
Yeah.
Because he's smarter than he is.
Yeah.
He doesn't really ever try and fight him because as soon as he does, he gets put on the fucking ground. Because let me tell you something. You think guys from Harvard will never miss a chance to tell you, like, oh, I went to Harvard. A wrestler will never fucking miss a chance to tell you they're a wrestler and put you in a fucking move.
The guy gets out and throws everybody to the ground. Hiya! I am a master.
Yeah, you find out Bender very quickly is not a badass at all. And that's the one thing I didn't understand through this. Like, he continuously rips on Claire.
Yeah.
Continuously picks on Anthony Michael Hall. Keeps fucking, like, Brainasium fucking with Andy. Everybody leaves Ally Sheedy alone because she's just whatever.
Yeah.
And yet nobody fires that comeback back at him like, dude, you're just a fucking, like, abused little bitch.
Yeah. Well,
and I'm not saying anybody that is abused is a bitch. I'm just saying, like, you're lashing out because you're because of what's going on at home. You're not tough at all. And
we find out through this movie that all of these characters are who they are and act how they act because they're basically a reflection of their home life at school.
Yeah.
Like, John Bender's he's a scared kid and he doesn't know what to do, but he acts like the big tough guy. He starts to harass Claire about her awesome life, but she hates her parents. this is when Bender and Andy get into a little tussle, and Andy puts him to the ground. And Bender gives the old,
I'd kill you, and your fucking parents would sue me, and it'd be a big mess, and I don't care enough about you to bother.
Dude, that was the most teenage thing that anybody did in this entire movie.
yes.
It really was.
Yep.
Like, I don't want to get into this with you, man. Why not? Because I'd kill you, that's why. That's the shit kids say. I'll fucking kill you, bro. You don't know.
Yeah, that one and the line that Andy pulls.
If we weren't in school right now, I'd waste you.
That line, I can't tell you how many times through my 4 years in high school I heard that line. If we weren't in school right now.
I said that to so many people running away from them, it wasn't even funny.
So what I really loved about this scene, though, is because Bender gives oh, I'll fucking kill you, man. That's why. And then I got to go to jail. Your parents are going to sue me. And then he takes out the knife and he sticks it into the chair. And these are the little subtleties about the movie that I really like, because you get Ally Sheedy sliding into frame, stealing the knife, and then sliding back out of frame.
Yep.
It's so good. And like those little bits of Ally Sheedy throughout this movie, dude, are great.
Her character is my favorite in this movie because she is just fantastic.
Yeah.
Fantastic.
She plays it well. But we also get the janitor Carl here, that comes in, and he gives his little speech about being the eyes and ears of the school. And if you watch the intro to this, his picture is at the beginning. His school picture, he was a big shit at the high school and yada yada. Mm-hmm. Now he's the janitor there, and they're ripping on him for his, custodial arts position at the school. And then he goes into like, I fucking know everything about this goddamn school. Why don't you shut your goddamn mouth for a second? Because I've been through all your lockers. I know what the fuck is going on.
And what's interesting about this scene too is they're busting on the janitor the same way they're busting on Paul Gleason's character, the teacher.
Yes.
Right? Just kids making fun of him. But by the end of this, Carl, being an actual kind of like, make fun of me all you want. Like, he didn't get upset. He's just like, go ahead. I got you. You don't know, but I already got you. And by him posing it that way, he earned their respect more than Paul Gleason's dick will ever.
Yes.
Ever have a chance to do that.
So they break for lunch here. And we see how each of the people from different walks of life eat lunch. Yes. We have the rich girl who eats sushi. When that was considered a status symbol, now you can go to the local Kroger or Giant Eagle and grab sushi anytime of the day.
You can go to Mobile. What are you talking about? You can go to fucking Exxon and get a thing of sushi.
I don't recommend that you buy sushi.
No, don't do that.
From a gas station, but we also see the jock who eats the whole grocery store here, because sports. And the nerd eats his fully balanced lunch. And then we get Ally Sheedy's character, who eats a pixie stick butter cereal sandwich.
I'm surprised John Hughes didn't write a scene in where Ally Sheedy was snorting pixie sticks like we used to do as kids. Like, every single meal is so perfectly tailor-made to their archetype. It's perfect.
Exactly. And John has no food. He's poor and abused, so he apparently doesn't get a lunch in this movie. We also get Dick eating lunch, right? Yeah. He's setting up all his shit on his desk, and he spills his thermos of mud. I got two questions. One, who brings a thermos of coffee to drink with lunch? Like, if it was a Coca-Cola, if it was water, if it was milk, whatever. Okay, those are all acceptable beverages. Who's drinking piping hot coffee with their salami sandwich at fucking lunch?
Well, I mean, he's a teacher in a public high school in Illinois. It looked like fall, close to winter. It's probably cold.
Sure. So
I'll throw Dick a boat.
Will you? So my second question is, how thick and strong is it? Because it's black and thick.
Yeah, you're drinking like decayed battery acid at this point.
Like, it's just awful. Nasty. It was awful. Bender then starts in on Brian here on his lunch and his like Leave It to Beaver home life that, you know, he thinks that Brian lives.
This scene kind of pisses me off because they never revisit it.
Yes.
Bender is the only one that ever gets like the out loud, we were wrong about you kind of thing.
You shouldn't have said that.
How did I know?
You're finding out the fucking kid was about to kill himself,
Yes.
for Christ's sakes.
Yeah.
And nobody brings up the fact that Bender was a fucking dickhead for doing
About
that
that.
earlier.
Yep.
But,
absolutely.
But you were wrong for challenging Bender for saying he was abused because, you know, nobody lies about that.
Yeah,
Andy's
exactly.
a big old butthole for doing that.
We also get here Bender revealing, you know, that his home life is less than perfect and that his father puts cigars out on his body and he gets cigarettes for Christmas. And
The old man grabbed me and said, "Hey, smoke up, Johnny!"
and then he runs away because he's upset about the whole thing. This is where you actually see Bender for like the first time. Like he's just a scared kid and he's just fucking lashing out.
Right. And I'm going to go ahead and throw a PSA in here real quick. Hi, kids. Uncle Corey here.
Hi.
Hi. If you're a lot like Andy and you stick your foot in your mouth, do what Andy does here and just shut the fuck up and crawl back into your shell for a little bit.
Yes.
Maybe even go that extra step and be like, yo, that was my bad. Don't do what is popular now. And when you stick your foot in your mouth, try and shove your fucking ankle in there too. It's not a good idea.
Yes. Bender then says, fuck it, let's go for a stroll through the school because he has to stop by his locker and where he grabs his weed.
This is an important mission because Carl has told you he knows what's in your lockers.
Yes.
There's no fucking way I got that much bud in my goddamn locker and I'm ganking one more second of a chance letting Carl gank that from me. Are you out of your fucking mind?
Yes.
That is top priority above everything else right now.
We then have Dick walking through the halls and them trying to get back to the library before he does. They get stuck at the gate. So 2 questions here. One, how big is their school?
The school's massive.
That they don't know how to get back to the library. And there's 10 different ways to get back to the library. My second question is, Bender now decides, shit, we're stuck. So now I'm going to help my friends get back to the library so they don't get in trouble by running through the halls and singing and screaming and getting, you know, being a distraction for Dick so that he finds me and I get in trouble. Like I'm falling on the sword for the team and my friends. Nobody likes you. And maybe this is just a play for them to like him, but I didn't understand his motivation behind it.
I'll tell you exactly why he did it. It's quid pro quo, Clarice. Quid pro quo.
There you go.
Because he's almost busted out with the whole door thing, and nobody rats him out. He's already been a dick to everybody in that room, and none of them still rat him out because it's very much that us against them mentality. At the end of the day, you're an asshole, but you're a teenager, so you're still on my team. That guy's an asshole and he's an old fucking man, so he'll never understand. So because they did that and covered for him initially, he went ahead and took a bullet for them.
Dick then removes Bender from his friends and puts him in this fucked up solitary confinement in a broom closet somewhere in the school or underneath the school. Who the hell knows? And this whole scene is fucked up. This is where Dick goes from like, oh, he's just an angry old man who doesn't understand kids now because he's gotten old and he's changed, to, oh no, he's just an abusive prick.
Yeah, he's no different than Bender's dad at this point. And earlier when I said, you know, like, if you don't go to detention on Saturday anymore, thank your teachers union. Yeah. Now's the time when you can tell your teachers union to go fuck themselves, because if this guy wasn't protected, he'd have been on the fucking street years ago.
Absolutely. And this is also back in the day, because he actually makes the statement here.
You think anybody is going to take your word over mine?
This was back in the day where if fucked up shit happened to you and you went and told a teacher or your parents, nobody believed you because you were just a young punk.
Ask all the kids in Jug taking a fucking frothy one to the back of the throat.
The power of Christ compels you.
Dick also makes the reference like, I make $31,000 a year and I own a house. Let me tell you something. First of all, learn how to humble brag. Like, this is just, he's bragging outright. Like, I make 31 grand a year. Let me tell you something else. In 1985, 31 grand a year still wasn't shit. And going back to teachers' unions, I'm pretty sure those guys make $31,000 a year still to this day. I don't think their pay has changed.
They might get 31.5 now.
I make $31,000 a year, and I've got a home, and I'm not about to throw it away on some punk like you.
Ooh, you're bragging about 31K? You gonna brag about your El Camino in the parking lot too?
That's a weird brag. And I don't, you know what? Hi kids, Uncle Corey. Don't do those weird brags. They're just, don't ever brag about yourself in that way, because it never comes off good. No matter what you say, you come off looking like an idiot.
Yes.
Not even an asshole, just an idiot.
Yep.
No, man, I made $10 million last year. That's it. No matter what you say in that brag, I can throw shade back at you. So just don't do it.
Absolutely.
Just don't do it. Let somebody else do it. Or be clever with a backdoor brag.
Bender then sneaks back into the library through the ceiling tiles, and the students spend basically the rest of the day smoking pot, getting to know each other, dancing, and sharing secrets about their personal lives.
And this is a good lesson, I think, for everyone around the world. Weed will make you all friends.
Weed is from the earth. God put this here for me and you.
They're all friends. They have a good cry together.
Molly Ringwald does lipstick cleavage things.
Yeah, lipstick titties,
Ally
whatever.
Sheedy starts talking. Ally Sheedy smokes and she turns into a chatty Cathy. Can't get her to quit.
During this whole thing, while they're all doing the get to know you game, Dick gets caught going through the teacher's personal files in the basement by Carl. And let me tell you something, Carl. You went a little light on Dick here. Like,
well, he knows he only makes 31 grand. He reads the fucking files when Dick's not there.
He was like, yeah, $50 and I'll shut my mouth about it. But
why do you think Carl was going in there? Who goes to the basement to clean up the secret file room? Nobody.
What
Carl
high school
was going down for his Saturday reading?
What high school has the secret file room? Like, what is that?
Right?
Carl and Dick here spend the rest of the day just talking while the kids do whatever the fuck they want to in the library. And Dick reveals his disdain for the kids and that the kids have changed. Carl lets him know that, no, the kids haven't changed. You've changed.
Yep. Dude, fucking Carl is a Sherpa for everyone on this journey.
Yes.
He's just guiding them through, putting all the emotional baggage on his back and walking them right the fuck up that mountain.
Yep. And
Carl's
amazing. For a guy who only has about 6 minutes of total screen time in this movie, he's one of the main characters in this movie of helping all of the characters along.
Yes. And I'm gonna take it a step further and say that Carl is getting paid in weed by Bender to occupy Dick's time.
Yes.
I think there was a wink and a nod there, and Carl was like, dope, you guys do your thing, I'll take care of this fucking Momo, and we'll handle it.
So the kids, while they're high, discuss what got them into detention. Andrew shares that he taped, dudes' butt cheeks together in the locker room.
Fuck you for even trying to fucking cry through here. Like, you're under the fucking pressure. You're a piece of shit. Next.
Yeah. All right. Next. Well, let's.
I got no sympathy for Andrew in this. You're a fucking piece of shit.
Let's see what we got here for next. Well, he was trying to impress his dad because his dad got into all kinds of shenanigans. So he taped butt cheeks. Okay. Next one. Then we have Brian, who shares that he brought a flare gun to school to kill himself because he failed shop And I actually really like this scene with Brian. I love Anthony Michael Hall, period.
Yes. I love this scene so much.
The best part is the setup, because he's like, I took shop because I figured it's an easy A and it would, help my GPA. And
why'd you think it'd be easy?
Of course, Bender has to make it about him and have to take offense because he's the most sensitive fucking snowflake I've ever met in my goddamn life. If you breathe on him the wrong way, he's gonna fucking whine and try and take you down every peg he can.
Yes, and to hear like Brian's like, well, we'll change the subject. So there was this elephant, and you get the nose, and like,
yeah,
I wanted Brian here to go because Momos take shop class. Okay, that's why I took it. Like we all know why
people take shop class.
Yeah.
Grow the fuck up. Some of us have to take it, and some of us just do it to get by.
Exactly. Because we want to build a stupid birdhouse and move on with our fucking high school career. Okay? Allison here then reveals, Ally Sheedy's character, that she's just there for shits and giggles. And she does this whole thing, like her whole scene is great too. She does this whole thing where basically she says that she's banging her therapist, and she does this to basically put Claire on the spot. And then Claire admits that she's a virgin. And then Ally Sheedy's like, well, no, I'm a virgin too. Like I didn't bang my therapist. I'm also a klepto and I'm a compulsive liar. And she gets into her whole.
Like, if you want to talk about peer pressure here too, getting off of Ally Sheedy real quick.
Yeah.
Fucking Molly Ringwald's like, no, I'm good. It's none of your fucking business whether or not I'm a virgin. And literally every single person,
including
all men,
Brian,
by the way, are like, fucking tell me. Did you do it? Did you do it?
Just answer the question.
Why don't you just answer the question?
Be honest. No big deal.
Yeah, answer it.
Just answer the question, Claire.
Talk to us.
Yeah, leave the girl alone.
Tell you. What the fuck is wrong with you perverts?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
And okay, here's another PSA. FYI, if you were in high school, if you're in high school now and you get into this, discussion, and I don't know, there's 50, forget 5, there's 50 kids around you and you're all talking about who's a virgin and who's not. You're all virgins. There's probably one dude in there and one chick who have had sex. 99.9% of these kids are virgins.
I've laid lots of times. She lives in Canada. Met her at Niagara Falls. You wouldn't know her.
Okay, so anybody that's like, no, I'm banging all kinds of people. She's from Canada. You don't know her. Like that whole thing. Yeah, that's not a thing. Just FYI.
Yeah, and high school kids that are having sex, I think it's the old Eddie Murphy bit, look like this. Because they're just surprised they're having sex. It's not like cool and shit like they all pretend it is.
Yeah,
it's not.
No, they don't know what they're doing.
Fucking moron.
Yes, clunky would be the best descriptive word. Towards the end of the day, Claire decides to use the nerdy kid to write the essay. This infuriated me. When I first saw this, it didn't even it didn't occupy any of my brain space. Watching this now, I'm like, Claire's like she shows her like leadership skills here, and she's like, "Hey, guy,
oh yeah,
like I don't think we all really need to write. Like that's a bullshit assignment, isn't it?" And he's like, "Yeah, it really is. You like me, right? Oh yeah, I really do. I think you should just write the one for all of us. What do you think?" Yeah, okay.
Yeah, when Ally Sheedy says you use sex as a weapon, and then they kind of harp on Claire during the whole virgin conversation, this is what they fucking meant.
Yes.
And I know this because I was Anthony Michael Hall to a lot of redheads. Okay? So all you Shannons can eat my ass. I'm done with all of yous. Doesn't work anymore.
Got it, Claire?
Why? Because I'm telling the truth? That makes me a bitch?
I did have like a psychiatric moment here because I realized I think Molly Ringwald in this movie is why I do have an infatuation with fucking redheads.
Probably.
Thanks a lot, John Hughes.
Then Claire does a makeover on Ally Sheedy so that and Ally Sheedy and Andrew hook up here. And then Claire wants to get back at her parents, so she hooks up with Bender.
Which, by the way, are we supposed to forget that a little mascara and eyeshadow's taking care of the dandruff falling out of Ally Sheedy's head?
I don't know. Maybe she gave her a quick shampoo. This video brought to you by Selsun Blue. Selsun Blue. It treats Ally Sheedy's hair.
Head and shoulders. When you want to fuck Emilio Estevez.
So now you have Andy and Allison like making out and doing their thing. And then you have Claire and Bender making out and doing their thing. And Anthony Michael Hall kisses the essay. Fuck you, movie. Like this
Look,
pissed me off.
That nerd
like,
ain't never gonna win. They already had Ally Sheedy have the nerd moment, the she's all that moment, where it's like, I took off my glasses and oh my God, I'm so beautiful. Like I wasn't fucking Rachel Lee Cook the whole time.
So,
what I think is funny here is we continue the fucking, which is, I mean, it's true to life. So again, tip of the cap to John Hughes here, but the cliche of Bender treats Claire like dog shit.
yes.
And actually sexually assaults her by ramming his face into her fucking panties when he's hiding under the desk.
Yes. Yeah, I totally forgot about that scene.
Yeah. So all of this happens, and his reward, his moral dessert for being a fucking piece of shit this entire movie, is actually getting to make out with Claire and a diamond earring for free. That's a hell of a good day in detention, bro. I'd fucking pump my fist at the end, too.
Don't you forget about me.
Yeah, shit. I don't even believe this worked.
So, yeah, final PSA for the show. Guys, this doesn't work. Don't shove your head into somebody's crotch and expect to make out and then get a diamond earring.
And if it does work, expect to wake up with herpes.
Okay. So the end of this movie is them leaving, getting picked up by their parents, and then you have the voiceover, the Anthony Michael Hall and all of them doing the voiceover of the essay that Anthony Michael Hall wrote.
Yes, which I like.
Yes.
That was short as shit, but it's a good essay.
Yep. And then you get Bender at the end walking across the football field. Hiya. You get his fist pump at the end. End of movie. I think I still really like this movie. There's a lot of really good parts. There was some really infuriating parts. The whole thing about Bender and Brian when he's ripping on Brian about his home life. A couple of other smaller things that kind of like pissed me off. But overall, it's a good movie. This whole cast is amazing. And they all do a fantastic job. I will say this the end of time. I love Anthony Michael Hall. John Hughes is fantastic. He's a fantastic writer. He's a fantastic director. I think this still holds up. It still stands the test of time. I don't want to see this. Well, I don't want to see this remade because this has already been remade 1,000 times in 1,000 different ways. And all of those movies don't compare to this movie. This movie is still head and shoulders above all of these other remakes of this movie.
Yeah, I mean, look, everybody in this movie was in their purest Brat Pack form.
Yep.
The writing was great. And I think it stands the test of time, maybe not because of some of the material in it, the writing, the outfits, none of that necessarily, but the fact that the teenagers are written so well that if you adjusted a couple little of their issues that got them into detention, it's very easily seen today. You can very easily have that movie today and make it still relatable to kids. So from that aspect, I think it's fantastic. Of course, there are a couple little 80s things. There's words we don't use anymore and bullshit like that that's in here that can make you just go, ooh, that didn't age too well. Yeah. But literally, that's a 30-second piece, unless you're John Bender and it'd have to fucking dwell on everything. It's a 30-second piece that you just skip right over because the next scene's probably better anyway than it was. Whatever pissed you off. So, Yeah, it still holds up, absolutely. It's a great movie. It's perfect. I think there's a lot of deep dives you can do into each of these characters, because unlike St. Elmo's Fire, for example,
yes,
you're not getting skin deep shit. They're trying to dive into why these kids are who they are.
Yes.
So for
Exactly.
that, it works, and I think it's a perfect 80s movie.
I'm sure that's exactly what you want these people to believe.
I think this movie's fantastic still to this day. I still think it stands the test of time. And that's all I got. You got anything else?
Yeah, one last quick thing. No matter what your fucking excuse is or who your parents are, don't bully people. That's bullshit.
Yeah, don't be an asshole.
Whether you're taping somebody's butt cheeks together or you're just berating them for being a virgin, go fuck yourself. There's no excuse.
Absolutely. We'll end on that note. For Corey, I'm Armando. This is Kiss the Reviews, and this was 1985's The Breakfast Club.